There we go. Okay. Well, it's good to see everybody's smiling face. You can all hear me, right? Good. Okay. Tatiana, do you see that picture of Tatiana? Wow, that's a really nice photograph. Okay. Let's get started. Um, let's see, who should have? Katya, will you do open the mandala for us in Spanish?
In Russian or
Sí.
Tibetan? Ah.
Katya.
Ah.
Yeah.
Sí, ¿te lo haces en español?
Yeah.
Ok. Aquí está el gran mundo cubierto del aroma de incienso, con unas grandes flores. Aquí están las grandes montañas, los cuatro continentes, eh, cubriendo una joya de luna y del sol. En mi mente me hago el paraíso de un Buda y los ofrezco todo a ti. Que por medio de estas acciones pueda llover un mundo puro y lleno de amor. Idam Guru Randa Mandala Kamiya Tayami.
I go for refuge to the Buddha, compassion, knowledge, and strength, the Dharma, the enlightened side of truth, and the Sangha, the community of realized beings. From the virtuous merit I create, from the practice of giving with the understanding of emptiness, moral discipline with the understanding of emptiness, patience with the understanding of emptiness, joyous effort with the understanding of emptiness, concentration and wisdom, may I attain the state of a Buddha for the benefit of all living beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, compassion, knowledge, and strength, the Dharma, the enlightened side of truth, and the Sangha, the community of realized beings. From the virtuous merit I create, from the practice of giving with the understanding of emptiness, moral discipline with the understanding of emptiness, patience with the understanding of emptiness, joyous effort with the understanding of emptiness, concentration and wisdom, may I attain the state of a Buddha for the benefit of all living beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, compassion, knowledge, and strength, the Dharma, the enlightened side of truth, and the Sangha, the community of realized beings. From the virtuous merit I create, from the practice of giving with the understanding of emptiness, moral discipline with the understanding of emptiness, patience with the understanding of emptiness, joyous effort with the understanding of emptiness, concentration and wisdom, I will become a Buddha for the benefit of all living beings. Okay. Let's see. Where am I going to start? I'm going to start with Tatiana. What do you have to rejoice in this morning or this evening?
Добрый вечер. У нас вечер, 8 часов. Я рада вас всех видеть.
I'm happy to see you all. I'm happy that I can join today this class because every day I have like a struggle for life with my mother every day. So this day we survived and we are here on the class and I'm very glad for this. Thank you so much.
Well, you're welcome. I'm glad you're here. Okay. Daria, what do you have to rejoice
in? Good morning, Venerable Sumati. I rejoice. It's difficult because today my computer is broken and I thought about the change, how world has changed, and my colleague go to another job today, and it's I don't know, it's like a big bomb. I think it's one day, and oh my God, it's all changed.
Wow.
And
wow.
And I do Tonglen. I think it's my safe for me. For a lot of situation I do Tonglen.
Oh, good. What happened with your computer?
I don't know. It's not turned on.
Did you plug it in?
Uh,
I'm being silly. Is it plugged into the wall?
yeah, maybe, but I don't know. I think I will go to master with my computer.
Okay. Well, good luck. And yeah, just put this day behind you. Do a rejoicing before you go to bed and just accept the fact that you ripened some powerful seeds and you didn't respond ignorantly. And that's a very good thing to rejoice in.
Mhm.
Okay, next is Katya.
I want to rejoice that I did the homework and the quiz for class 1.
Well, very good. Well, I guess that's a rejoiceable, yeah. Okay, Katrina, what do you have to rejoice in?
Hello. I need translation.
Здравствуйте. Hello.
У меня сегодня тоже был сложный день, и
I have a very
я
difficult day
совсем
today,
сегодня,
and
что бывает нечасто.
I had anger today, but it happens very rarely.
Это мой первый учебный
And
год в качестве.
I worked today, and it was like my first experience.
Я понимаю, что происходит, и
But I understood what is happening, what is going on, and I feel about it pity.
что чтобы это не повторялось,
I thought how to make so as not to repeat this situation. And I spoke with my mother, with my friend who had similar experience.
стало спокойнее и легче.
And I felt calm
Да,
that I'm not alone.
ну, что это мы разговаривали с ними с обычной человеческой точки
We
зрения, и
were speaking with them from human point of
для них
view,
это не
and
так.
for them,
В общем, это бывает со всеми.
so sometimes it happens with many people, and I felt a little bit calm about it.
Делать, чтобы
I know that
атмосферу создать в классе или
I can create some other atmosphere, for example, at work.
что делать. Я искала
And
такие способы.
I asked some questions, some people, what would they do in some situations?
Такой процесс. Ну и что я порадовалась, что у меня есть
And
вариант,
I rejoice
которого нет.
that I have a seats system that not other people have. I have this seat system and I understand and I can use it. So I rejoice for this.
Я радуюсь, что у нас есть этот курс и занятия.
And I rejoice that we have this course and that today we have class.
Еще раньше замечать, когда что-то
I think that it's very good to see some good things around us.
Oh. Well, I agree with that. Well, good. I'm glad you feel you have the tools to negotiate the problem and to work through it. That must be a very uplifting feeling, and certainly something to rejoice in. So, getting mad is not fun, and especially after you've gotten mad and now you regret getting mad, etc. But don't feel the guilt end of it. The regret end is quite acceptable and worthwhile. Okay. Olga, do you want to rejoice in anything?
Okay, I will tell some words. I think that sometimes we don't notice some small things like we do. And today I think that during the day, sometimes we make so many small things, like just, I don't know, maybe some good words or maybe some, I don't know, help, some small help, and we don't notice it. So like today I think that I helped a lot my kids. For example, I helped my daughter to learn English today. I feed them, buy some food, and I rejoice that I have such people around me whom I can help on everyday basis. And like I always have something to rejoice about.
Good, good. How many kids do you have?
I have two kids, daughter and son,
How old are they?
11 and 16.
Wow. Are they interested in the Dharma?
Yeah, they're always listening. They're always listening when I'm translating,
Oh,
and so like they understand many things.
good. I constantly remind myself how I would have loved to have been started on my Dharma path when I was 10 or 11. I don't know how well I would have done and whether I would have been interested, but to be exposed to it is quite extraordinary. Okay, Svetlana, what do you have to rejoice in?
Hello, the Venerable Sumati. Hello, everyone. I'd like to rejoice about a couple of things. The first one is that I observed at work when someone asked me to do some task. I decided that I will do this task like right away, not postpone it, and it was in two cases maybe. And even in the second time, I was doing this task with thoughts that I should stop doing my current job and provide help to this person who asked me, and I tried to do it more thoroughly. Because I was trying to remember that to help others, that is like the best thing we can do. So in a moment when I can choose to be more concentrated on my like obligations or to help people who are requesting, I tried to provide help which was needed. I rejoice about it, and may everyone get any help they need at the right time. And also, I'd like to rejoice that my karmic partner, old lady, she ordered some sweets, and I brought it to her, and she was very happy. And also, she gifted some pillow, handmade pillow. Yeah, and
Oh,
I'm rejoicing
wow.
about such talents.
Wow, very nice. That's wow. Wow,
Yeah.
very nice. That is quite colorful. Excellent. Well, yeah, helping it's sometimes hard to realize what's more powerful, get your job done and then do help someone else, or to help the other person first. And I think from a karmic standpoint, it's very important to help somebody else first, dedicating it to you're getting the help you need, and then, of course, following up with your job. And then if someone asks why you didn't get your job done, you just politely say, I helped somebody else with their problem. So in the expectation I can get help myself in the future. And that's pretty hard to get mad about. So excellent. Okay, Lydia, you thought you weren't going to have me ask, but I didn't forget.
Hello, dear Lama Sumati. Hello, everybody. I'm rejoicing that I paid some money for retreat in Armenia, and after 6.5 months, maybe, I hope I will see you, Holy Lama. And
Yeah.
also, I went to the hospice today, and they asked me to buy ice cream, and I bought ice cream, and I think I will have lots of ice cream in the future. I will share with you.
Excellent. Excellent. What flavor ice cream?
It's just plumbeer.
Vanilla?
Maybe I forgot. Just plumbeer, maybe vanilla.
Oh, okay. The Well, here's a question, just because I'm feeling silly right now. What's the strangest flavor ice cream you've ever eaten?
Curry.
Oh, no, that's too easy. That's too easy.
It was very tasty. Maybe the best in my life.
Well, do you know what root beer is?
No.
The flavor root beer? Oh, that's the strangest one I've had. The strangest thing I've ever had to drink is the national drink of Ecuador. Is it Ecuador or Peru? Maybe it's the national drink of Peru. And it tastes like bubble gum. Bazooka bubble gum. And it's a bright fluorescent yellow green. It's the same color as antifreeze is in the United States. So it's like I was drinking antifreeze. It was the strangest, most bizarre thing I've ever tasted. But okay, so Katya, what's the weirdest ice cream besides curry?
I don't know. Maybe bubble gum.
Yeah, bubblegum.
Yeah, well,
Svetlana, how about
it's
you?
not good.
Oh, strange. Maybe some with lemon, but maybe it's not so strange.
No,
With some.
lemon would be good. Watermelon. I'm not a fan of. I like watermelon, but I don't like watermelon flavored things. Watermelon juice at breakfast. Oh, okay. What, Olga, what's the strangest ice cream you've had?
It's very difficult to remember. I think that nothing, no strange taste, just usual taste.
Okay. Well, let's get on with class now. I've got my microphone thing here. Okay. You all see the screen? You have the share up there? Yeah. Okay. So, class 2. Where does anger come from? This is a very powerful topic. So let's go through and see if we can figure something out here. Contemplation 7. We should be angry at unwitting physical objects. You fail to feel anger for bile and such, these major sources of pain. Why then are you angry at those with minds? They're all impelled by influences. Illness, for example, is something which occurs despite the fact we never wish it to. Just so the arrival of violent mental affliction is something we never wanted. Anger wells up in people despite themselves. No one says, I think I'll get angry now. Anger then comes all the same, and it starts without anyone saying, I think I'll start it now. Tibetan medicine says there are 3 basic elements in our body, bile, phlegm, and wind. And when these energies are in balance, we're healthy. When they're not, we're sick. Balance is rare. They're normally out of balance. Master Shantideva says, if we are consistent in our thinking, we should get angry at our liver, our heart, our stomach when we're not feeling good. Get mad at wind or bile. Why? According to traditional Chinese medicine, Tibetan medicine, they're what are making me sick. They're the cause for my distress. And like someone making me mad, I should get angry at the conventional cause. But the body does not harm me intentionally. The elements don't conspire. It just happens. But people are not like that. They hurt me intentionally. Master Shantideva says, I'm being illogical. No one plans to get mad at you. Anger wells up uncontrollably. The mental affliction arises and we react to it with anger, essentially on automatic pilot. So why get angry at someone who's out of control? Whoops, my computer just did something strange. Come on, computer. There we go. So the next 30 minutes of class are really important. We're going to try very hard to get the key to stopping anger. Now think about it. When you get mad at somebody, did you plan to get mad at them? Or was it a reflexive reaction? Now, if your kids don't do what they're told, then are you planning to get mad at them because they didn't do what they were told? I would think before you came to the Dharma, that would be true. But because you know about the anger now, the harm of doing anger, that would be the last thing from your mind. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look. Where does the angry boss come from? Where does irritating traffic come from? Where do people not putting their shoes away come from at the temple when I was at Diamond Mountain? Who made them and why are they bothering me? We learn in our culture often to not ask the why question. When you ask the why question, especially if you're asking a teacher, your lama, if you ask why, sometimes the answer is not something you want to hear. So take a plane crash. Recently, this is actually, I've got to share something. The last time I taught this class was in 2005. 2005. I was looking at my files on my computer. Wow. Anyway, so back then there was a plane crash, a small private plane, and 3 of the people died and 1 guy survived. So why did 3 die and 1 survive? Western culture says it was the location of the seat. But why is she in that seat and not another? Why? Modern science has an explanation, or claims to, for pretty much everything. But at some point, science stops asking, where did everything come from? So Master Shantideva debates from the standpoint in modern terms of the Big Bang versus God. Now, there's something actually I need to share. I don't know how often you've seen any of the forums that His Holiness, the 14th Dalai Lama, does. But he had a forum on physics and world creation. And I remember him sitting there with this very enigmatic smile on his face as the top physicists in the world were telling him how his cosmology, Mount Meru and all the oceans and mountains, is illogical. It doesn't make sense because it's the Big Bang. And as they're explaining the Big Bang, you just see on His Holiness's face going, and Big Bang makes sense? But I just never forget that. Okay, so Sowu, primal one, continually makes the world and everything, made itself. No one else made it. It is beginningless, uncreated, unchanging, permanent. So is responsible for my anger. There's the Dak, the Atman, self-existent being, oneness, eternal, uncreated, unchanging, a primal mind. So these are the gods, the concepts of gods that we were taught early in our lives. Neither makes any sense. You can't be unchanging and affect something else. We think very deep in our subconscious. Our world comes from a God, from the Big Bang, or who cares how, it just is, I have no control. Master Shantideva says, we have to get an answer to who makes those things that make us angry, if we want to stop getting angry. The primal one, two different expressions in ancient India for the same thing. Essentially a self-existent being, a oneness, eternal, uncreated, unchanging, primal mind. If you don't exist, you can't think. I'd like to make myself today. You can't make yourself. So then if they make everything but don't make themselves, they don't make everything. So let's clarify some terms. Eternal, no beginning, no end. Beginningless time. Permanent, always be, won't end or break, not necessarily eternal, not necessarily beginningless. Impermanent, will end or break. Changing, fluctuating, almost never the same. What is something that is changing but eternal? Our mind. It's always been and it will be, but it fluctuates constantly. So it's changing, but it's eternal. What is something that is eternal but not changing? Empty space. Now, this is a tough one for many people to comprehend. So, empty space. Let's see. My mug is occupying, well, you can't really see it. There we go. My mug is occupying space, and now it's not occupying that space. Empty space is eternal but not changing. And the point is, my analogy to this, at least for me, is very clear. And that is, in Star Trek, if you've all watched Star Trek, right? No? Well, this is going to be difficult to explain. In Star Trek, they have this thing called a transporter. And when they step into it and Scotty pushes the right button, they get disillusioned and fly off to some other place and reoccupy it. So as they're being transported, they get less and less and less and then disappear. So empty space isn't like that. Empty space gets completely filled with something, or it's completely empty of that. So the object space is unchanging. It doesn't get partially occupied and then more occupied and then finally occupied. The space that's holding this mug is occupied or it's completely unoccupied. So empty space is eternal. It's everywhere, but it's not changing. Place a book on a table. There's a place where I put the book. There is space for me to put it. There is space to move it to the table. Either occupied or not occupied. But its nature does not change. It's not partially space or not space. It's 100% space or 100% occupied. Nothing partial or changing. So it's an example of permanent and changing. The human mind. Impermanent and changing, just about everything else. Impermanent and unchanging, emptiness. Something is empty of self-existence is not partially empty of it, it's completely empty of it. Unchanging but able to do something, not possible. You can't be unchanging and do something, because if you do something, you're changing. What we're saying is there cannot be an uncreated, unchanging being who created all the wrong things in our life. Because if he's unchanging, he or she can't create something. So, period. That's just the way it is. So again, Sowo and Dot cannot be. If they cause something, they are changing. If they're changing, they themselves have to have a cause. So they can't be uncaused. If they're unchanging, they cannot cause anything. The Big Bang, same idea, came from nothing to cause everything. That just can't be. So we cannot blame any of life's unpleasantness on a creator being or a Big Bang, because they aren't logical. Yes, they are pure holy beings trying to help us toward alignment. They have all been created by causes, and they change as they help us. So what causes a thing to ever change? The fluctuation of energy of the thing that produced it. Now that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, this last one. So what causes a living thing, a thing to ever change? The fluctuation of energy of the thing that produced it. The fluctuation of energy of the thing that produced it. That one still is not quite clear to me. So let's move on. People do so much harm to themselves that it's no surprise that they hurt us. There are those who, having lost their senses, hurt themselves by themselves with thorns and such. To get a woman or the like, to become obsessed and do things like refuse to eat food. Some go and hang themselves, leap from cliffs, swallow poison or other harmful things. Others go and hurt themselves by living their way against virtuous life. If people are driven to do it because of their mental afflictions, even kill their own dear selves, then what surprise could it ever be to see that they also act in ways that harm the bodies of other people? Thus do people live, committing acts like suicide, driven by their own bad thoughts. If by some chance you cannot feel pity for them, at least withhold your anger. So Master Shantideva is saying, people hurt themselves terribly when they're trying to get things they want. So they, of course, will hurt us in the process. The guy at work hurt me by lying about me so I can be righteous in my anger. That's a karma butt. Why were you surprised at his actions? What kind of Bodhisattva are you to get angry at him? Now, I had this happen at Diamond Mountain. One of my coworkers, I probably shared this story, but it's worth sharing again. I was not in charge of anything. I was just one of the volunteers. There was two guys ahead of me. One was the dad, Ben. Kedron was the son, and I was kind of the lowest on the totem pole, just a warm body. And Kedron had fixed something in the water system, but had left it, hadn't cleaned up the tools or anything else. And I saw that, and I went to Ben, and I said, Kedron left this unfinished. And Ben read me the riot act. What kind of Bodhisattva are you for complaining about my son? And I thought, well, I'm not angry at him. I'm just wondering why I didn't finish the job. But that's when I have one of my first exposures to using Dharma as a weapon. And you should never, ever use Dharma as a weapon. If you're going to ask yourself what kind of Bodhisattva am I to have done something, ask yourself what kind of Bodhisattva are you for asking me that question? Because you're supposing that you're correct and I'm wrong. And so you're getting angry at a Bodhisattva in the way that you're calling me out for having done. So just don't find yourself quoting Dharma material in terms of trying to make a point. Contemplation 10. People are harmful by nature. There's no surprise they hurt us. If they're only harmful in moments, we should bear with them. If it is the very nature of those who are children to do harm to others, then being angry with them is wrong as hating fire for the fact it burns. If that's someone's tendency for doing something, then we shouldn't be surprised. If the entire nature of living beings is to be thoughtful, then all their faults are occasional, and being angry with them is wrong too. Wrong as hating a puff of smoke in the sky. So are people either nasty or noble? If people are naturally nasty, why do you expect them to be otherwise? Why get upset or angry at them? If people are naturally kind, why do you get angry at them if they occasionally slip up and get nasty? You should be angry at fire. Its nature is to burn things, and sometimes it hurts you, so you should be angry at fire all the time. Well, that's absurd because sometimes fire is warming us up. So we can't be angry at fire for that. Either way, you cannot justify getting angry at other people. It doesn't matter if they're nasty or they're very nice and occasionally get angry. Getting angry at somebody else shows the ignorance of how the world works. So if you want to get angry at someone, get angry at yourself for acting ignorantly. And then you get into, if you're taking the Bodhisattva vows, now you're angry at a Bodhisattva. But as I think I described last class, the anger at a Bodhisattva that cuts the root of virtue is a lethal anger, a really, really intense anger. And I've only felt that. Have I felt that actually at all? I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think when I really got intensely angry at somebody. Before I got involved with the Dharma. When would that have happened? I don't think I've ever had the adrenaline rush anger at somebody. But part of that's because I'm 6'3" and weigh almost 200 pounds, so not that many people argue with me. Excuse them, help them to realize it's my karma so, not my karma but. That's such an important thing to remember all the time. Catch yourself. Is my karma but or is it my karma so? I had a little tiny bug walk across the floor this morning. And I was busy getting ready for class. And so I thought, I'll just let it go. And I thought, no, I should pick it up and take it outside. And I did. And I thought to myself, no, it's my karma to have this bug in my house. So I can, God forbid, kill it. or I can let it go and maybe grow into a much bigger problem. Or I can pick it up and save it and put it outside. The fact that I went through the logical steps means I'm still not where I want to be. When I see that bug, I've got to say to myself, he or she, it is in danger being in my room. I need to put it outside. That has to be my thought process. Because what I'm doing otherwise is I'm saying to myself, well, it's my karma, but no, it's my karma, so. This is a famous analogy with Shantideva, Master Shantideva. It's the stick or whatever that delivers directly. If you're angry at what impels it, why get mad? Then get mad if you really must at anger itself, since it's the force that sets the other in motion. The fall guy says, getting angry at a stick is silly. The guy has to swing it. I should be angry at him. Master Shantideva says, but the guy is the same as the stick. Neither one is self-controlled. The guy is compelled by his mental afflictions to act. You should rather get angry at the true source of anger, the thing itself that drives the anger and mental afflictions of the person who angers you. Who is it that actually created the objects that bring us anger? I myself in days gone by perpetuated this very harm on other living beings, and so it's right that now the one who did the harm, myself, should have this hurt visit him or her. So that's admitting it's coming from your past deeds. They're weapons in this holy body of mine. Both of them provide the causes for the pain to come. They produce the weapons and I produce the body. At which should I get angry? This blister in the shape of a man, unbearable if someone touches it, filled with suffering. It's me who is driven that by blind desire, grasped to it, and so who deserves my anger when someone harms it? Take, for example, the guards of hell and the forest filled with trees with leaves made of blades of swords. Every one of them was created by the deeds you did yourself. Who then deserves your anger? There's one of the hell realm. It is a forest filled with trees that have razor blades on their trunk and swords as leaves. By the deeds you did, every one of them was created by the deeds you did yourself. So who deserves your anger? Ultimately, your misdeeds create the person who is causing your anger. The world is nothing but colors and shapes until your mind conceives of it in a certain way. The way things appear to you is not a matter of immediate choice, but is forced on you by your karma, the ultimate cause of your anger. Colors and shapes are meaningless until the mind organizes it. It's like a foreign language. Until you understand it, until you organize it, the words are meaningless to you. Here's another experiment to test all this. Play your favorite music to three people, three strangers. If self-existently good music, they would all like it. They might, but they also might not. Hence, it's the quality of the music, the beauty of the music is not self-existent. Early in my marriage, I had a special apricot chicken recipe I thought my wife would really like. I've been the cook in our family since we were married. And she makes very good food, but she just doesn't like to. She preferred to do the dishes than cook. I prefer to cook than do the dishes, so it works out very nicely. Anyway, I went to the trouble to make this. This is well before we were vegetarians. made this apricot chicken. There's a batter that's got apricots in it, and you cover it and bake it. And it's really quite tasty. And she tasted it, and she said, looked at me and said, "This is nice, but it's got too many calories." So I never made it again. And that bothered me because I thought she'd like it. So I didn't get angry. I got sad that it hadn't worked. But you have to get angry at her for not liking the chicken would have been ignorant on my part because it's coming from my past karma and I need to deal with it. So now when she doesn't like something, I just say to myself, well, you need to do better. You need to try harder to cook something that'll be tasty. It's a problem in our marriage now. Well, it's not a problem in our marriage. It's a problem in cooking. I can't taste pretty much anything. Although yesterday I did have a pleasant surprise. I tasted a bell pepper. Almost completely got almost a complete taste of a bell pepper. And that was quite a surprise. I put it in my mouth and started chewing, and I realized I actually tasted something. So I'm hoping my karma's starting to ripen to recover my sense of taste and smell. It's true that our minds are organizing data into what we experience, but it is not true that we can wish or willpower something to be what is not. Your karma, your past deeds are the cause for your mind putting you here in the desire realm, where everything is suffering. How can you blame someone for getting angry at you when it's your fault you are here in the first place? We whine about all the work to get out of here, meditation, study, service, on the one hand. Yet the desire realm is the best realm to be in because when you decide you've had enough, we can do something about it. Lower realms, there's not enough intelligence. Higher realms, there's too much pleasure. The desire realm is the mix of enough intelligence and enough suffering. Not too much, not too little. I would say there's more than enough. Well, that's interesting. This slide. Okay. 4 qualities that must go together. The following 4 qualities, even though we only see 3. There's never an instance when you can have one of these 4 qualities without the other being present. This is why it's impossible that our anger and entire world could have come from some unchanging and unproduced cause, like a God. Okay. So, a functioning thing, a thing that does something, a changing thing, something poorly translated as impermanent, a cause thing which is produced by the convening of causes, and a produced thing, something which is made. There is never an instance when you have one of these 4 qualities without the other 3 being present. Once we realize we are the source of all our troubles, we will stop, or we will try hard to stop creating them. In effect, turning to the source of all our good, our Lama and the Dharma. The path to freedom is a realization that it is you and you alone that are responsible for your current world projections. And as such, you and only you can change it, but you can change it. So for the meditation for this class, do some serious contemplation on how you are the source of the world you are seeing and everything in it that makes you angry, happy, sad, or glad. Realize the cultural upbringing that has, in a sense, drugged or poisoned you, blocking you from seeing the true source of all this is your own past deeds. So that's the end of class. Rather enigmatic. It's attacking in various ways, trying to attack from various angles, some of which are not as clear as others. It's trying to show us that anger, being angry at something, having somebody angry at you, unpleasant to you, is, as we know, it's coming from our past seeds. So no matter how you look at it, no matter how you justify it, anger is not the response that you need to have when someone's angry at you. So think of the last time you got even slightly angry, and think of the circumstance. So last time I got slightly angry was last night at a Ziploc bag. A Ziploc bag. I got frustrated opening it to get out some crackers. And as I was getting frustrated, I was thinking about this class and my getting frustrated at something I know is caused by me in a past life. And I just stopped and said to myself, stop it. You're getting mad at yourself, and that's not solving the problem. So find some way, as soon as possible, to help someone who's frustrated and dedicated. And luckily for me, or karmically for me, my wife appeared with a problem she was having with her computer. And she was frustrated and angry at her computer. So I just approached it and tried to solve the problem for her and was able to. She has expectations of her computer that are to me unreasonable because it's not how the computer works. So that gets her frustrated and angry, so she's getting mad at a computer. So it's not the same as getting mad at a person, but it's still the illogical anger emotion as something that we each created. So try and think back to the last time, as I was saying earlier, the last time you got angry at all. Did you catch yourself as you were getting angry? Did you stop and say, this isn't, I'm setting a new seed? Or did you continue through the anger and get finished with it? You need to stop. You need to stop and right there, right when it starts. So when I open that bag, it's like, stop what you're doing, realize where it came from, and move on. But don't let it steamroll. There's something else that happened last night. No. I modified my desk area to make it easier for me to turn on and off the lights that illuminate my computer space. And that involves making sure that wires are out of the way of my desk. I have a standing desk that rises so I can stand and work at. And I have to be careful that the wires don't get in the way, because this desk has quite a bit of force, and it'll break things if they're in the way. So I was trying to organize some wires to keep them from getting in the way, and the clips I was using are hard for me to open. So I was getting mad at the clips. And why couldn't they design these clips to be easier to use? And I find that quite a bit now in my life, the things that are hard to use because they didn't design them for handicap. But that's all coming from my inconveniencing others in the past, and it's now ripening. So it's not that the company who made these clips is trying to make me mad. It's the company that made these clips as an opportunity for me to not get mad and to understand where the clips in their current design came from. And that seems really off the wall and silly. But if you stop and think about it, all through the day, you have things that make you think it's my karma but instead of my karma so. If we're really honest with ourselves, if I'm honest with myself, I have a lot of my karma but running through my mind, and that's part of human nature, and that's what I'm trying to fix. So that I'm aware of the fact that I have this running through my mind is the key, because by being aware of it, I can catch myself constantly thinking that and constantly not regretting it and doing something to counter it. So it's not that you wait for the big thing to happen. It's how did I had an example. I have to think of this one more. It had to do with radiation. Oh, there's low-level radiation. I can't remember whether it's beta radiation or gamma, but there's a low radiation that is, if you get exposed to it, can cause cancer down the road, quite a ways down the road because it's so low level. So let me see, I just lost my thought here. So just as low-level radiation can be harmful, I like to use the term low-level radiance. The good deeds you do, the small good things you do get large, just like the small bad things you do. So when you get upset at yourself and you catch yourself, that's a low-level radiance that as a karmic seed will grow and become something that is enjoyable. Just as we do the low-level radiation, the anger, the things with the wrong frame of mind, we also do the low-level good things that we tend to not admit to ourselves. So it's important to see both. Very important to see both. So bottom line from today's class, where does anger come from? From me, from us. And we have the tools to not have that be a problem anymore. And we just need to suck it up and take care of it. It's my karma so, period. Okay. Any questions? No?
Holy Lama, I have
Yeah.
question. about our mind. Maybe it's a stupid question, I don't know. But our mind is changing, so it should have a cause. And I understand that current second of mind produced by previous moment of mind. But I cannot understand how it is without beginning. I just can't imagine it.
Well, you've asked the question that confuses most Dharma students. What is beginningless time or beginningless mind? And what is endless time or endless mind? And I believe that's one of the, I need to look this up, but I'm pretty sure it's one of the 10 questions Lord Buddha refused to answer. Because if you stop and say, beginningless mind started here, then there's a moment before, and it couldn't have started here, it has to start there. So I don't have a good answer for you. Other than that, this moment of mine was caused by a previous moment of mine. And that previous moment of mine was caused by the previous moment of mine. And I hate to say it, but at this point, that's just the way it is. Because you can't argue that there is a specific beginning moment of mind. Because there's always something that made that moment of mind, and that's previous. So there's endless previous and endless future. So sorry, that's one of the questions I can't really give you a good answer for. I think rather than to dwell on beginningless life and mind and things like that, I say, I'm in the present. It's like I say, the past is the present is your future. Because the past is my present, I have no idea what's happening next. But what I do know is how I react now is what's going to color my future, along with all the other ones that haven't ripened yet. The fact that we're in the desire realm, the fact that you're taking a Dharma course, the fact that I'm trying to teach the Dharma are all very positive, wonderful things, meaning you've done tremendously good things in the past to get here. To have Geshe Michael in our life, to have His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama in our life, for me to have any of you in my life is an incredible blessing that's coming from many, many past good deeds. So if I want to perpetuate that, I have to make sure to respond in a way that replants those seeds. And in doing that, as my wife likes to put it, I'm not sure the scriptural reference for this, but to get a seed to ripen, we use the analogy, to get a karma to ripen, we use the analogy of a seed. And to get a seed to ripen, you water it. And so her point is, every time we do a good deed, we're watering the seeds of other good deeds so that they'll get closer to ripening and as karma. So the little tiny good things you do are watering the seeds a little tiny bit at a time. And the more of those things you do, the more of those seeds get watered. And at some point, the circumstances ripen it. I've tried, and I haven't tried recently, I've tried to find what ripens a karmic seed, what causes it to ripen. I haven't figured that out yet. it reaches a point with the watering of the deeds we do that it ripens. But I'll have to research that yet again. Okay. Oh, I do need to remember. So Monday we don't have class because it's White Tara Day, and I hold the White Tara. So it's 10:30. So our next class will be Thursday. Oh, and I think the Armenia thing is fully subscribed. We're doing a White Tara sadhana. A White Tara practice. If any of you are interested in receiving the White Tara blessing, and then have the ability to do the White Tara sadhana, let me just tell you the date. March, June. On June 10th through the 14th, well, actually for you, the students, it would be June 12th through the 14th is what's called the White Tara Jainam, and that's where you receive permission to practice White Tara. It's not an initiation. That's different. It's the minimum training you can get to practice White Tara as a front generation. Then the next weekend, on the 19th to the 21st, I will go through a compendium of advices I wrote to help you with the details of the White Tara practice. And as I understand it, that has been or is in the process of being translated and will be done by June, right? Yeah. Svetlana is struggling to translate my English into a Russian compendium, which I really appreciate. I think it'll make a huge difference to the Russian students' practice. So if anybody wants to join that, you have to have the Bodhisattva vows to take that class, that instruction. Okay. Oh, and the other thing is course 16, for those of you that are interested in doing the first review course, that starts on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday. Okay, let's do our dedication. What dedication do I want to use? O Gurus, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, please listen to what I now say. Just as all the previous Sugatas generated the mind of enlightenment and practice in accordance with Bodhisattva precepts, so shall I too, in order to benefit all that lives, give birth to bodhicitta and follow its precepts. In all my lives, may I never live apart from my perfect lamas. May I bask in the glory of the Dharma. May I fulfill perfectly every level and path and reach the uncooked place where I become myself, the one who holds the diamond. So, anger. We know where it comes from. We know all too well how to perpetuate it. And now that we know where it comes from, and now that we know that how we perpetuate, we can stop perpetuating it. Don't beat yourself up that you can't stop right away. It's a severe test. And it's one of the angers, the main mental affliction that really gives birth to all the rest of them. So don't give up. Don't get discouraged. I see every time I get angry at any level as an opportunity for me to practice the Dharma. It's really just that simple. I don't rejoice in that I'm getting angry, but I rejoice in the fact that I know what I need to do about it. And so it's pretty much put up or shut up. So we'll see everybody on Thursday, right? Monday through, yeah, Thursday. And we'll continue this exploration. Okay. Take care, everybody. Have a nice weekend. Stay warm. It's getting really cold in parts of the United States, and it usually doesn't get cold. Parts of Florida are getting snow. Florida, snow. That's absurd. How cold is it in Moscow now? Below
It's
freezing?
it's getting colder. Like now, I need to check. Like around in Celsius, it's -10.
Minus 10 Celsius?
Yeah.
Wow. That's cold. It's going to be 61 here today.
It's
That's cold for us. That's cold for Guadalajara. What's Guadalajara consider cold? Anything below 80 degrees?
Like 11 degrees.
11 degrees, let's see. 21 is 70 degrees is approximately 20 centigrade. So 50 degrees would be 11. Yeah, so 50 degrees. My wife considers anything colder than, she might go swimming in a pool if it's less than 85 degrees because it's too cold for her. 85 Fahrenheit is 30 centigrade. So if the temperature of the pool is below 30 degrees centigrade, she won't go swimming. I get in a pool to cool off, not to warm up, but okay. Well, good to see you all. This was a difficult course. It's a long-winded way of looking at anger, but the point is to try and approach it from as many different angles as possible. And I think we did that. Okay. Okay, everybody. Love you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Holy Lama. Please stay and teach us.
Благодарю.
thank
Мы
you so
тоже вас
much.
любим.
Hi,
Thank
Olga.
you so much. Please stay.
Well, that's my intent. Thank you, Olga, for translating. Does it help to have my notes? Oh, really? Wow. I'm
Yeah.
impressed. You didn't get the notes?
No.
Oh, well,
I forgot it.
Svetlana,
I'm sorry, the Lama Sumati.
wow,
That,
I'm very impressed, Olga. That's tremendous. Wow,
that's
I'm very
okay.
impressed.
And
Okay.
the
Well, we'll
Lama
try and get to the notes in the future, Svetlana.
Yes, I'm so I'm sorry. And
Don't
I wanted
don't be
to tell
don't be
that
angry.
Lydia was
Don't be angry.
translating notes into Russian.